50 years ago, Tufts president Nils Wessel wanted to do something to make Tufts more than just a good gray school. He pulled together young faculty like Saul Gittleman and Seymour Simches and worked with them on an idea to bring innovation to the curriculum and energy to the campus. Thus was born the X College. Many students' first exposure to the X College is taking an exploration, one of the X College's earliest and longest-lasting experiments. The idea for explorations came from students on the X College board who felt that advising for first years needed something that faculty alone couldn't provide.
I'm remembering Terry Simon coming up with the idea for explorations. At first we all said, "You want to do what?" But quickly the advantage of the long hit, this 3-person team that stayed with the 12, 15, 17 students for the entire semester. I still think it's the best model of all of our advising models.
My first relationship or experience with the Experimental College was as a freshman in a freshman exploration, which I would say saved my life here, because when I came to Tufts, you remember, I came from Savannah, Georgia, never having been north of the Mason-Dixon line until my first day of school. I was so lost up here. To me it was like I'd gone abroad for 4 years. And having that nucleus of 10 students, and a big, to me it was a big, because I'd gone to a small high school, a nucleus of 10 students, and these upperclassmen who were so cool and so hip and really could mentor you. It was fantastic.
As a freshman, I took an exploration, and it had significant impact on me. Not only I made new friends, but I got to know the university in an interesting way, being taught by peer students on a topic that I was interested in.
I took a freshman exploration when I got to the school in the fall of 1984, and the exploration was the media and the 1984 election, because it was an election year, so it was Reagan against Mondale. The two people who taught the exploration were editors at the Tufts Daily, and they made me come down. They forced me, and I went down to the Daily, the initial meeting, I guess 2 weeks into my freshman year, and that became where I spent the bulk of my 4 years at college. So,
well, I was a beneficiary of attending my first X College course my freshman year. It was on Boston city politics, and it was a wonderful way to experience the city. It was a wonderful way to experience the school.
I really liked my exploration. It was a film class, basically. And of course we didn't know this at the time, but the two teachers were a guy named Jeff Greenstein and a guy named Jeff Strauss. They were both involved with the Sort of Friends that have gone on to Hollywood and been very successful. And these were our exploration teachers.
This is kind of great. We have not been on campus together in like 20 years?
Since Tisch Library.
That's right, yeah, it's been a while. When I say we taught a course called Intro to Film, it sounds like what we did was a big, sprawling survey course that encompassed the vast breadth of American and world cinema from Lumiere to the present.
Instead,
we taught Elvis Presley's Fun in Acapulco.
While taking an X College class is a great experience, teaching one as an undergrad is often transformational.
I think the X College experience really changed my life. The classes I taught me that I really cared about the craft of journalism, that I liked sharing with others, that I still love and believe in the path of journalism and the importance of passing on what you've known.
my greatest X-College moments, they actually let us teach incoming freshmen about TV production, and it was just a really nice coming together of creative minds, and they made some interesting films, and I can't remember what any of them were about.
It was fun, and a few of them ended up out here, so we started them off on their careers, and they'll probably be in a future message showing how much more successful they are than us,
and we'll be thanking them for
we gave them their start.
It was probably the single most significant thing I did at Tufts. I learned how you make things interesting, how you engage people and how you get them to come and engage in your class, not just because it's for credit, and how to use your imagination.
When I was a senior, one of my fellow psychology majors, Leslie Slavin, and I decided to write a proposal to teach a course for freshmen, and it was called The Psychology of Sex Differences. I think it's fair to say that that experience changed both of us. We both went on to get PhDs in psychology. We both taught at the college level, something I continue to do in my role. And I think teaching through the X-College really gave me the confidence, especially as a first-generation student, that being a college professor was an attainable goal to me, that I could learn how to teach and enjoy doing it, that I could mentor young people. So I guess you could say my lifelong passion for higher education began at the X-College.
Many programs talk the talk about being student-centered, but the X-College has always walked the walk. In addition to teaching courses, students have been full voting members of the X-College board since 1966.
Senior year, I went onto the board of the X-College. At that time, there was still somewhat of a divide, I would say, between students and professors. You know, you didn't have a cup of coffee for free on the president when you went to the library. There was still this divide, and this was almost the first time that you had more of a peer relationship with people who were older and more advanced in their training or degrees.
I don't think that many college kids get an opportunity to be on a board. I've since gone on to be on the board of the Lower Merion School District, and according to Robin, so have several of the X-College board members. A lot of us have gone into educational roles, and a lot of us have gone into educational roles with school boards.
I was on board at the X-College 2 years, 70, 71, and during a time when it was really growing and changing as a journalist, curious person. And I think that a lot of the interconnected courses that we took and I saw and proved as a board member of the X-College kind of made me to see the bigger connections of things that sort of led me to journalism for 40-something years.
If you asked me what's the most important contribution I made at Tufts in all these years as Dean of Students, Associate Dean before that, I'd say the most important thing I did here was hiring Robin. Yes, there was an experimental college before Robin Gittleman, but not the same experimental college.
Robin was an extraordinary encourager. You know, you had an idea, you had something little, and she was never one to just let it sit. She was extraordinary at encouraging it.
I am so thrilled to see Robin continue to be the connecting force for all these years. It's wonderful to me to see that.
Any institution that survives for 50 years owes a debt of gratitude to the people that are in charge of it, and so all credit to Robin and Howard for this amazing department that does amazing things.
Robin, who also knew my older sister who went to the school, was kind of like a Jewish mother supplement while I was at Tufts, so a little home away from home. And Howard was kind of like that crazy uncle. It really is like a family.
Perhaps most importantly, the X-College is where people discover what matters to them, where they're going, and who they are.
People will say, what do you remember the most? What was the most influential thing about Tufts for me? And I'll always say the X-College.
I think one of the biggest things that I took away from the X-College is the collaborative process. I learned how to definitely work with people, and it gave me an opportunity to do creative things. It gave me an outlet that I think no other department at the school could have done.
The X-College really shaped who I am as a professional. My career as a broadcast journalist in commercial television and now in public television.
When I came to Tufts, I was going to study biology and actually finished my biology major, but because of the experimental college, really, this place where you could do things outside the box, do things that weren't what you expected. I'm now a screenwriter and television producer.
The idea that you could go in with a spirit of exploration and inquiry and curiosity, and that would fuel your college experience felt very validating for me. I think it's one of the reasons we were drawn to the X-College, both first as students and then as instructors, is that it reinforced that spirit of adventure in us.
This spirit of adventure and innovation continues today through our first-year programs, cutting-edge courses, and campus-wide events. We have our own house, a great staff, and an amazing group of student filmmakers who make the Basement Lab their home away from home. We're turning 50, but it's not an end. It's just a stop along the way.
Happy birthday, Expose.
Happy birthday, X-College.
Happy birthday, X College.
Happy birthday, X-College. You've just been a wonderful, wonderful part of this university and part of its DNA.
Happy 50th birthday.
I'll look a day over 21 days.
50 years strong, congratulations, at least 50 years more. It's an extraordinary part of the Tufts community.
X-College, after 50 years, what we did was interesting. What you're doing is absolutely fascinating. Keep it up, I'll be watching.
Congratulations, X-College. What a fantastic celebration. On behalf of me and so many people who came to the program, thank you so much.
And it means to me is we both arrived at the same time. I started in 64, the X-College in 64.
The X-College gave me the only course that really helped me sort of think about how I teach now. The X-College just develops them in ways that no other course and no other school can do.
It helped me find a career, so the X-College changed my life.
I'd like to welcome you all tonight to the gala here in honor of the 50th anniversary of the Experimental College.
Many reasons we want to congratulate Robin and her team for having such a distinguished feature, a long-standing feature, and one that will last into the future at Tufts University. Congratulations.
I think the most distinctive thing about the X-College is that you care about students, and that's what the university is about. Guys, the family.